at the spot where the lights are bright. We're laughing, shouting, holding on real tight. Just examine that old school sound in the rhythm of the night, where the fun's always found. Here we're rolling all the way, just let the good times flow in this pixelated land where the wild ones go. Cruising at the arcade floor, we're shooting in Gallagher Rose. Yeah, we're glowing at the Pixel Show. Let's blast them at the game machine glow. Well, everybody playing, everybody scoring at the ballroom touring.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Gaming Happy Hour. I'm Gaga Guy 88, and this is Burger Time, babe.
Hi.
How we all doing tonight? How are you doing? Fantastic, fantastic. Well, tonight we have a great show for you. What we're going to be doing tonight is a People's Choice Awards for the one and only Star Wars. We're going through all 9 Star Wars movies. The big ones, everyone, they either love them, hate them, depends on which one, but to help us talk about that, we invited the one, the only, 19K Fox to join us. How are we doing tonight, 19K Fox?
Phenomenal. Thank you so much for having me. Both of you. This is the first time all 3 of us have streamed at the same time. It's kind of a big deal.
Over YouTube, yes. Anyways. Oh, it's gonna be a good time. Tonight. Looks like Super Game News must be getting over. We have people coming in from there. But are you excited for the topic for tonight, Fox? Have you prepared yourself to judge what we're going to be ranking these Star Wars movies?
I've been preparing myself for about 48 years.
48 years?
48 years. Yeah.
And Fox just learned backstage that I'm 37. He was like, "You're 37?"
I swore. I like, you're 28. You know, both of you. You look like you're 28, 29. I had no idea. I am shocked.
He's back there telling us to pop out more kids. I'm like, I'm almost 40, dude. And he's like,
Yeah.
what? I'm like, yeah,
come on, you got 2 more. You got 2 more in you.
2 more.
I'm like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Burger Time Babe is like, no, we're all good here. We're fine.
Well, he wished twins on us last time.
I did. I said,
that's very efficient, you know.
Yes.
2, get them out there.
Said, have 2 and this be done. You know,
so twins, and then 1 girl,
yeah,
and then 1 more set of twins, and you're good. You're golden. See?
Yeah. See,
that's a lot of kids.
New. 3 is a great number. I had 3. I think it's great. I think if you have 1, you get the only child syndrome going on. If you have 2, there's not like a tie-breaking vote. So you got to have 3.
Yeah. So I'm one of 3, so I liked it. I liked that dynamic.
I wanted 2. We got 3.
See, well, and you have problems. You and your brother are at each other's throats. I know.
But it's great. It's great. So before we start, though, we have to get a drink going. We know Fox already has his going.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But in honor of him being on the show, we are going to do a special, authentic 19K Fox drink.
Hold on. Let me get my pen. I want to write this.
Yes.
Write this recipe down. Okay. Go ahead.
You need bourbon, and ice. That's it.
Well, that's yeah. Thanks for putting it that way. Now I don't feel like I'm not very complicated. Yes, I am a simple man. Thank you for making this drink in honor of me and my simplicity. I think when it comes to a good bourbon, ice is probably the only thing you really want to add to it. Now if it's a bad bourbon, that's where the Coke comes in.
That's right. You got to start mixing it. And tonight we have this is Smoke Wagon Small Batch. I've tried it once before. It's pretty good. I don't know if you ever tried it before.
I have not.
Well, you have to.
Smoke Wagon? Is it the
yes.
What's going on with the bottle there?
It's got all types of shininess.
Shinies?
Yes, all types of shininess. That's why I said that in the store. I said, "Do you have anything with shinies on it?" And they said this one, and I said, "Great."
And they just pointed. They just picked up the phone and called the police, and they're like,
Yes. Let me go ahead and pour this. Then we actually even have, in honor of Star Wars, we have our Mandalorian cups. I don't know if you can see them on stream.
This is the way.
And that is a Death Star ice cube. Yes. So we're.
I need to get the molds for that. I don't have those.
You don't
Did
have
you get
the
the 2-piece mold?
Oh, I actually got the 4-piece mold because.
Really?
Yeah. And tonight, actually, later on, let me share this. Oh goodness, I need to share a tab. There you go. We're going to be giving this away, guys, so you can have yourself a 6 mold for you and your friends, if you have them.
Friends, who has those?
That's no moon.
And two, it comes with looks like a bottle opener too, a Millennium Falcon bottle opener. So we're going to be doing a fun little question at the end of the night, and hopefully Jason O'Alien's in the chat whenever that happens, because he's the one that is the referee on who gets the question right first. So hope you're all excited for that, because that's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. Anyways, let's say hello to the people in the chat right now. They're popping through here saying hello. Let's say hello back. What do you say? We got Stock Jock here in the house. We got Kevin Wong. P-Dubs is falling asleep. Raid. Awesome. We got Israel Gaming with his sound. Yeah, that's what he does. John Fritz, he is in the house. Mystery Encoder, what's going on, man? Sir Sega, nice to see you. JJ in the house too. We got Joe Cade. Most important question is, what's everyone's beverages? We answered that for you. Glad that you're here. Thumper Squid, always good to see you too. Stay in Spirits, met this guy in person, and he is so nice in real life. And I'm like, you come onto my channel, and you just razz me to death. And you meet him in person, he's like the nicest dude ever. And I'm like, hold on a minute, like he was so such a nice dude.
I was really sad I didn't get to go. Hopefully,
yeah,
next year or something.
As he's razzing Fox now, Fox, would you like to?
Good thing we're not rating best NFL teams. Listen, I am a realist when it comes to football. It just is what it is. If you support any team for any length of time, you're going to have some ups and downs. It's just that the Cowboys' downs have been down for a very long time. So I think eventually maybe it'll come up. But
you're that guy who bought the stock, and you're just like, it keeps going down, but you're like, it'll go up one day.
It's gonna someday. I'm gonna hit it big. I just know it.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Oh no, Video Game Vegas is here. Fafford TV is here. Nice to see you, buddy. We got 19K Fox here. Billy Woods Mods, PB&J, Brian G, the one and only Brooklyn Menace, Meatball Saucy. He got a Rogue Ally. Xbox Rogue Ally, which I pre-ordered one today too. Did you pre-order one, Fox?
No. What is wrong with you?
I love PlayStation. Yes.
No, I think it's a cool piece of tech, but it wasn't cheap. I mean, what are you doing?
It's not cheap. That's not Star Wars, but that'll be another discussion. We'll have.
That'll be a great discussion. Xbox versus PlayStation, absolutely.
Well, yeah, for your PlayStation. Anyways.
I'll be the dark side.
Yeah. JR's here. We got Retro Bill in the house. Great show. He has every Wednesday, and I think that is everyone. If I missed you, I am so sorry about that. But tonight it is the People's Choice Awards. So I did a poll earlier, and people said how they usually watch Star Wars if they're going to watch them all. I said you either can watch them in sequence, like order as far as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or how they came out in our timeline, like 4, 5, 6, the old trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and then the sequels. So how do you usually watch them, Fox, whenever you decide to take on the marathon that is Star Wars?
Always in the traditional way, the order of release. So 4, 5, 6, and then 1, 2, 3. It's I've never really given it a good try going 1 through 6 because I think that's just I don't know. It's something that it's such a leap in quality, just visual. I'm not talking about acting and all that. The visual quality to start at a higher fidelity and then to drop down would seem a little unnatural. So I tend to go 4 through 6 and then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That's what the common denominator was in the poll, as people said they watch 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and then they throw the rest in the trash. That's what
because they're smart.
So I thought there's more than the original trilogy. Yes, you're going to learn a lot tonight, Bill's Retro Gaming. You're going to learn a lot tonight. But so that's how we're going to do it tonight. I thought, okay, that's a good way to do it. We're going to do the poll where we're going to rank each one of them, maybe show a trailer of it, kind of talk about our first time seeing it, that type of thing. So let's start with Star Wars Episode 4, our Star Wars, I guess, how a lot of people remember seeing it. There was no Episode 4. So we're going to do the Star Wars, and let me get this poll ready for you here. A through D. And we go here, and it gets smoother as it goes on, too, so you're not sitting here waiting. I'll have it already.
What's this guy doing?
Yeah, hurry up, dude.
What's this guy doing?
Yeah.
He's hitting buttons.
Yes. Okay, let's get the trailer going. Here we are. Polls up. We're going to give it 5 minutes. Take that off before I get
I think
demonetized.
you gotta kill the sound. Old John Williams said it again.
Yes. I actually we did a Turtles one where I did the same thing, and they still got me on the Turtles one. I was like, yeah,
it was, they're all over it.
Yeah, so I even muted it and everything, but oh well. All right, guys. So Star Wars. Do you remember the first time you saw the original Star Wars, Fox? What was that like? Where did you see it? What'd you think of it after you saw it for the first time?
So it came out in 1977, and I was 1. So I didn't see it in theater. And I don't really know exactly when I saw it because things took so much longer to come out on like VHS and all that back then. I think that I remember I had a birthday party. This was like my 5th birthday party. So I think the second one had come out, The Empire Strikes Back. And I think that that was maybe when I kind of saw it, maybe right before that came out. But I was just instantly just like enamored with it as a kid. My mom made me this R2D2 cake, and it was just my first memories of a thing that I was interested in. You had like Generation 1 Transformers and you had Star Wars like happening all at the same time for me. So I don't really remember when I saw it for the first time. It was just always with me. I think my mom was she was a sci-fi fan too. My dad was also. And so this was kind of right up their alley. So they probably indoctrinated me a little bit, just like the cowboy stuff.
And we do have a $5 super chat from Jason Alien. You don't have to do this stuff, man. You're already doing so much in all these streams, but we really do appreciate it for the super chat. Am I chopped liver? It's okay. It's a lot in life.
Jason, we would be lost without you, buddy. You are not chopped liver.
You're a pillar of the community, man. You're a pillar of the community. Goofy Foot, how we doing? But yeah, so do you remember the first time you saw it, Burger Time, babe?
Yeah, kind of. I was a kid. I wasn't very old. Probably no older than like 7 or 8. And my mom and dad were watching Star Wars, and I'm like, this is dumb. I was like, this is an old movie, and I think I left the room.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's about right. Yep.
That's a take. That's a take.
I'm pretty sure like He was like, this is stupid.
I didn't watch it till I was, I think, like 13 or 14, because my parents were kind of hillbillies, so they didn't really do much sci-fi stuff. And it actually was a older friend of ours. Her and her husband, they were talking about Star Wars, and I was like, I've never seen Star Wars. They're like, you've never seen Star Wars? It's like, no. Then they're like, you have to come over to our house. They had like a whole bunch of boys. Like they had like a camp out there. They lived out in the middle of nowhere, so there's like a trailer that they had, and then some camping stuff that they did. And they're like, we're gonna watch Star Wars, and we're gonna camp out, and you're gonna see it for the first time. And I was completely like enamored with it at that point in time. I was like, this is awesome. Why has no one ever showed me this before? Like, so I was on like I think it was like a 30-inch CRT screen, and it was the VHS tapes. And they're like, you got to watch it. So that's the first time I remember seeing it. And then I was like, this is it. This is it. Like, I'm all in on this. Like, I want to know what happens next. Also, too, here, what do we got? We got Ace Ejects Media Ground, 20 gifted memberships. Holy moly.
Nice.
Thank you so much, so much. I really do appreciate it, man. Ace Ejects is always here every week supporting the channel. He's just such a great guy. We've had him on the show before. He's always on after us on Late Night Live, so check him out over there. You're immediately redirected over there, too, so you don't even have to worry about trying to find them or anything. It's definitely just a great time. If you want to continue your Friday night, if you're not quite done with your bourbon, head over there. They will definitely continue the TGIF.
It's delicious, by the way.
It is delicious. It's very good. But also, too, tonight, guys, we do have a goal, which I forgot to mention. I mentioned to Fox before we started, but we do have a goal. If we do get 10 super chats, I think it's $2 I did. We're going to talk about these 9. And then if we get the super chat goal, we're going to talk about Solo as well as Rogue One, and we'll rank them also with you guys. So hopefully,
which could be, I'm telling you what, that's the linchpin, man. That's probably the most like controversy with those 2 films. So yeah, I hope we get a chance to talk to about that tonight for sure.
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely. That's the thing too. I say absolutely way too much.
I said it for you. You didn't say it. I said it for you.
All right, guys. That's been about 5 minutes, and to no one's surprise, we're at 95% on A, and someone gave it a C. So apparently someone doesn't really care for Star Wars, the original. They're like, it's an okay movie.
They just hit the wrong button. They didn't.
That's
all
it
was. That's all it was.
That's what it was. All right.
Baby Burger Time Babe.
It might have been Burger Time Babe.
It was Baby Burger Time
Baby
Babe.
Burger Time Babe is what it was. All right. So let's get episode 4 here. That's an A for everybody, guys. And at the end of it, too, what I do is I'll take a picture of this, I'll save it, and then I'll put it up on the channel so everyone can see what we ended up with. A lot of people were surprised at how much we hated the 3rd Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles last time. So they were like, a lot of hate towards the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3. And I'm like, yeah, they didn't like it. So just
I tend to agree.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. When you have, man, it's one of those things when you have, and I know this is Star Wars, not TMNT, but that first movie, man, that first movie was like a benchmark. It really set some cool standard. It was so good. And the second one fell off a little bit, but the third one, it was like a Saturday morning cartoon. It was weird.
We're okay. We just got a $50 super chat from Ace Ejects Media Ground. Holy moly, guy. He says, if we're doing super chat, go at $2 and you need 10 of them. How about I give you $50 and call it good? We're talking about 11 movies tonight. Thank you, Ace Ejects. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We really do appreciate it. It goes a long way to keep us going. And it baffles me every time because I'm like, it's just so great. I don't know how you handle this stuff, Fox, but for me, it's just like I'm stunned every time someone gives me anything. But
if I get 99 cents, it's a big deal because they don't have to do that.
No.
They don't have to do that, and it makes it humbles me. When you really think about it, especially if you have a night where they keep coming in, you're just like, man, I don't deserve this. So stay humble, buddy. But awesome. And that just shows how much people enjoy you, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ace of Jacks. I double dog dare you to do 100 names. Okay, say it, Spirit. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Dare ya.
He's like, I'm being nice.
Yeah, never in a million years. If you would meet him, I tell you, you'd be like, "Wow, this is him." Like, all right. So the next one, which is, I think, the most iconic of all of the Star Wars, the one that you've heard, the famous line from everywhere, because I knew, spoilers, everybody, Darth Vader was Luke's father before I even saw it.
Are you kidding me?
He is. I believe it or not, because
Thanks for ruining it for me.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Spoiler alert. Jeez, man. She had no idea.
Yeah. But it was just one of those things where, like, to me, I feel like this is the biggest of all the Star Wars. I love this one personally. But do you remember seeing The Empire Strikes Back? When did you see it? Where was it? How'd you feel after watching it?
This is another one where I don't know that I saw this in theater. I was still pretty young. But it shaped cinema. I mean, when you think about, obviously George knew that he had the flexibility of making a third movie so that he could end it on a cliffhanger. But that didn't really happen a lot back in the 70s and early 80s, like to just intentionally just leave something completely open-ended was something very rare, especially when you're talking about something this big. And remember, kids at home, I say kids, probably everybody in the audience is probably my age-ish. These things came out, and then you had to wait a year before it came on home video, and then you had to wait another 2 years for the sequel. So you were waiting 3 years to find out what the hell happened to Han.
We got $100 super chat. Oh my gosh!
This is how it happens.
Jason, oh,
never tell me the odds.
Yeah, never tell me the odds. Good golly, man! Thank you so much, Jason. You don't have to do anything. You do so much, and I appreciate everything that you do.
I don't know.
Nobody
double dare.
I don't
know. I think that we got some people out there that could probably top that. Jason's talking a lot of smack. So I think, this is just my personal opinion. I think that there's a lot of good men in there, or women, who are not going to take that laying down. Like Jason's just gonna come out there and just talk smack. I don't know. I think somebody could probably top him tonight.
I don't. Thank you, Jason, so much. Greatly appreciate it. Didn't expect it, but thank you again for all that you continue to do. Everybody, thank you so much for just being here. And it's always good to have the show, but to know that people like it so much, it's just great. It's great. I can start saving for my next arcade 1-up. There we go. There you go. Anyways, so after, you said after leaving this, you said it kind of left you in that void of like, okay, we have to wait for it to come out on VHS. Got to wait for the next movie, which is 2 or 3 years down the road. So, you said you didn't see this in theaters, or you did?
I don't think that I did. I still would have been, this came out in 79? When did the second one come out? Or no, 80.
80, yes, 80.
I was only like 4 or 5. So I probably didn't see this in theaters. So I probably ended up watching 4 and 5 at the same time. I'm sure at that point we had them at home on VHS. The first one I saw in theater was Return of the Jedi. But it was just agonizing. And I remember even other movies coming out at the time, you had to wait years before the sequel would come out,
Yeah, and this is why I say it's so iconic, is because Luke, I am your father, or no Luke, I am your father, however it's said, like that's just plastered everywhere. I remember kids cartoons and movies, they always had, something that was related to this then you had Spaceballs too, where it kind of makes fun of it. That was in there too. And how could you not know that Luke's father was Vader, like after this came out? It's just everywhere. It's just the most iconic one to me because it was the biggest twist to everyone who wasn't German. Because
Yeah.
if you don't know, Vader's father in German, so it kind of was obvious to them, I think, but everyone else, it was like, well, who is this guy?
I think
Uh,
even in the first the original script for Star Wars, episode 4, the original, Luke and Leia were not brother and sister. There was, Vader was not his father. I mean, it was kind of a one and done movie. But once he got the green light, once he saw the success of that, then he was able to sort of elaborate on that and get a little more, convoluted about the story. And then that's where these things sort of came in. So you'd be forgiven if you didn't really pick up on that in the first movie, looking back on it. It's very much a clear cut good guy, bad guy. I mean, one's dressed in white, one's dressed in black. It's all very simplistic, but that's why it resonates with so many people. It just hits on all the basic core elements of a good fantasy, a good story, the hero's journey, all that stuff. But it was very much supposed to be just one movie. George never thought he was going to get anything else out of it, and the way that he was able to kind of twist it in this second movie and kind of turn things around, and all of a sudden everybody's heads exploded. It was incredibly, it was masterfully done.
Yeah, and it did the good versus bad, as well as like kind of like an underdog story. You had this kid who, just had his eyes to the skies, and he felt this, I don't know, this like he owed his friends this opportunity, even though he was kind of turned his back on his teacher, to go help save them. And
Yep.
it had so many elements to it, so many twists and turns. Like, what's going to happen with Leia and Han? They're over here. Luke's on this weird planet with a puppet, and you just don't know what to think.
Well, the whole thing about Yoda too, it's this taking your expectations and flipping them upside down. He goes to Dagobah to find some grand master Jedi. He's like, oh my god, you're thinking of somebody bigger and badder and better than Obi-Wan, and then it's just this little green guy. And it's so cool that he even plays this like game Yoda does, where he's like a goofy little puppet, and then as soon as there's that revelation of who he is, his demeanor completely changes and he becomes a little more stoic, and then the real Yoda shows his face, and it's so cool. There's so many different things going on, so many different levels, so many super chats.
Aces Jacks Media Grounds, $100 super chat. Can't let Jason and Elliott spend more than me on a good Friday night. This one goes out to Meatball Saucy. Thank you so much.
I knew he had it in him.
Yes. Appreciate it so much. So that's right. You're still playing poker together. Thank you so much. I still can't believe it. Jason, you can't take that lying down. No, I'm kidding.
You got to come back harder, bro.
You gotta pump it up, boost those numbers, man. No, thank you so much for the super chat, and again, the continued support. I can't believe it. I'm like flabbergasted every time I get anything. So this is like blowing my mind here. Thank you so much.
You deserve it, man.
Yes, this will go right back into the channel, guys. We're going to be doing more stuff for the members, for everybody. So keep on watching, and we'll keep on good stuff rolling. But speaking of keeping it rolling, let's close this poll. To no one's surprise, we have A at 90%. A is the highest, so everyone gave it. 90% of you said A, and 10% of you said B. So they gave us a B.
Okay, real quick before we move on, tell me a negative about this movie, because I'm assuming this is your favorite of all the movies.
See, I have two. If I had to pick one Star Wars movie to watch forever, it'd be this one. That'd be the one. Now, if you're talking like prequel trilogies, it's 3. Original trilogies, it's 5.
Yep.
So that's kind of how I base those.
Because I have a negative about this movie, which most people consider this to be the greatest. I have one negative. You tell me, do you have a negative at all about this movie? For me, it's kind of a big one.
The only negative I have about it is whenever they're like, let me show you this move. I forget what it was. And he's like, I got some moves in me. And all of a sudden he like gently glides to the left. And then like, that's the move that Han Solo does. Like, no, but I don't think I have too bad of I don't think I really have too many negative things about it.
To me, the negative is that it can't really be watched alone. It doesn't really stand on its own as one movie. it really requires a Return of the Jedi to complete that picture. That's the only negative I have, which is really, you maybe can say that that's not really a negative, Fox, because the Return of the Jedi, that movie exists, right? But
Yes.
I think it's like required viewing. You have to have the two. Where Star Wars is just it is that contained movie. You can watch it by itself and you're good to go. So that would be the only negative I can see, because there's just so much goodness in it.
I forgot to ask you, when did you watch this movie? I forgot.
It's okay. Again, when I was a kid, I did like this one. I could not believe that Darth Vader was his father. I was like, that's his dad? What?
Have you seen the kids watching, little kids now that grown-ups, adults are now showing their children these movies, and they're getting that what? That's what? Are they watching them in order and being like, no, Anakin, he can't turn, and it's like, yeah, he does. But
that's what we need to do with all the kids.
You have to show them. You have to go 4, 5, and 6 though, because then it would spoil the fact that that's Luke's dad.
Yeah.
If you do them 1 through 6.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's one called the Machete version, which have you ever watched the Machete version?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. I did it one time because I was like, let's just see how interesting it gets. Episode 1. You just forget about it. Episode 1 doesn't exist. Okay? You watch Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, then you go to the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And then Return of the Sith, and then you go back to Return of the Jedi. So it leaves you.
Oh, I like that. That. That's cool. Yeah.
So he says, Luke, I am your father. And you're like, what? What happened? Then it's almost like a vision of how this happened, and then you go back.
Now we have the backstory. That's a cool. Yeah. I like that's okay. Okay,
it's
I like
way
that.
to kind of spice it up if you've watched them. I've seen this 100 times, but it just so for some reason it's all right, let's go back and see how this happened, and then go back and see how it all ends.
That's cool. That's a good way. Yeah, I'll check that out.
All right, next poll for Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Jedi, depending on where you saw this. Yeah. Go ahead and put this here. So we have that on A. Also, 2A so far. Let's see. Let's get this trailer up here. Return of the Jedi. What's your thoughts? How'd you feel about this whenever it came out? Whenever you saw it?
So here I am, 8 years old, at this point. I had a very simplistic view of the world, of these movies, of everything, right? Because I'm a kid. And Luke Skywalker, he was just my dude. He was my hero. He was just, I just immediately latched on to him and that character. And to see him be this Jedi, this badass, this confident person, it was such a clear sign or symbol that he had grown, when right off the bat he just walks into Jabba's palace and he's in all black and he's just taking charge and he's just doing the Jedi mind trick, and it's like, whoa, he's really come into his own. This is a completely different character, but also dressed in black, so it's like shades of the dark side. It was kind of it was just sort of cool to see him like that. So this is, for me, I love this movie. Maybe I don't know that it can overshadow the first movie, but for me, there's so much that comes to fruition in this movie. It all gets resolved. He saves his sister, finds out that that's his sister, and saves his sister and redeems his father. And it's one of those movies that the more you watch it, and if you're religious at all, you see that redemption arc. It's just, man, it hits you so much harder when you're a kid, and then when you become a father, it's just you're looking at it from both sides, and it's so powerful. So I absolutely just love this movie.
Yeah, that's a great take on it. I mean, they really showed us Luke as a character. As far as, again, he had that feeling in Episode 5 or Empire Strikes Back, where he wouldn't give up on his friends, even though everyone said, "Hey, give up on them. Like, don't go there. It's a bad idea." He's like, I can't do it. Like, I have to go and try to save them. That's just who I am." And then he has his father sitting there, and he's like, "I'm not going to give up on him either. Like, I can't. Like, I know there's something good still in him. I'm going to have to go back and face him to try and bring out the good." So, as a kid, good versus evil, that whole thing, it's just like a expanded, just expansion on that, where it's like this hero that's unwilling to accept that everyone is just completely evil, and that there is a chance for all of us, like you said, to have that redemption and to be able to turn things around even at the last minute. So it definitely was cool. I remember as a kid, the Ewoks, I was small whenever I saw this one. I actually saw it on TV, not realizing what it was, and I liked the little bears, which everyone hates little bears. And then later on, I watched this as like a 13, 14-year-old, and I was like, oh yeah, that's what this was. It was the little bears. So I do remember watching some of this. I do think that there's a lot of symbolism in this too, as far as, like you said, Luke's all in black. And then whenever he holds his father, his collar pops open and there's white underneath. So there's so much like symbolic, like just everything in this movie. So much was thought out that you don't notice unless you're really, really watching, where Lucas just did a lot to have that whole battle in their brain. I love the movie. I can watch this anytime. And it wraps up my favorite one, which is Empire Strikes Back. So I love it even more.
What do you think about that? The thing I mean, like I said, we're getting older, right? You have kids. I have kids. At the very end, where Vader's helmet comes off, and you see he's just a scarred human underneath, and it's man, I tell you what, I've watched it, and there was so much going on with Luke. Everybody was telling him no. Everybody was telling him stop. Everybody was telling him Vader is lost. Vader is evil. And against all of that criticism, he keeps pushing on and pushing on. And Vader's last act on Earth, well, I guess on the Death Star, before he passes away, is to let his son know. He says, "Tell Leia, you were right." And in that, he validated everything that Luke had done. Everything. Everybody else was telling him no, and he just put his stamp on it. He solidified it. He said, everything you did was worth it. Tell your sister you were right. And it's just so overwhelming when you think about who he was and the journey. And we talk about the other movies in a minute, and all that he had gone through to be in that last moment as he's taking his last breath, and to know I've got to put my son's heart and mind at ease. So as my last breath is being taken, I'm going to do that right now. And it's so powerful, man. It's just really, really hits you, on different levels. As you get older, it just hits you in different ways.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it again now with that take more of like, okay, yeah, Okay, side question: was the kiss weird between Luke and Leia? I mean, was it weird or was it not?
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. Yep.
He didn't know it was his sister, though.
He didn't know. And she was just kissing him to make Han jealous, but still, it's still weird. Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Fanboys?
No,
it's placed back in, I think it's the 80s. No, it's right before Episode 1 because they're trying to go see Episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Basically, these Star Wars fanboys, one of their friends is dying, and he wants to see Star Wars Episode 1 before he passes away. This is before they know anything. And so they're trying to get to the Skywalker Ranch to break into it to try and get to see Episode 1. And one of the fights is it a weird kiss? Like, I'm going to sit in my basement all day long and argue whether or not the kiss between Leia and Luke is weird. He goes, it was his sister. He's like, he didn't know.
It's still weird. It's still weird. It just is,
Yes. Yeah. So it's a hilarious movie. If you're a Star Wars fan, go watch that movie. It is so funny because
I need to check it out.
Yeah. So we're actually going to end the poll, and people are not going as hard on this one. We have A at 41%, B at
Ooh,
53%, and C at 6%. So
wow.
people are kind of iffy. So
Yeah.
I think it's the Ewoks. A lot of people
Well,
are not.
yeah.
They're not fans of the Ewoks.
Negative is going to be the Ewoks. So negative is going to be probably that Han and Leia don't have much to do, so they just you know they
Yeah.
just go to the Ewok planet and try to blow up the generator. It would have been cool if they had something else to do, I guess. But I think man, that movie kind of almost like at in the halfway point after they escape Jabba and Tatooine. After all that happens, yeah, everybody else kind of has nothing to do except for Luke. So legitimate
All right,
complaint.
Video game Vegas says I'd kiss my sister if she looked like Carrie Fisher. Am I wrong that I don't
Never
want to be right?
Never say that out loud again, ever.
He's letting the inside thoughts come to the
Right,
outside.
right.
I
Inside,
don't know.
don't type it. Don't. I love you, VGV, but no.
Yes. Hockey Town Arcade. He's seen Fanboys. It's probably super cheap if not free somewhere because
Yeah.
it's kind of an older movie now. It's probably 15 years old.
Well, was it actually before?
No, it wasn't actually before that. It was like
Oh.
on after.
But I'm not sure because you showed me the movie and I don't know how old it is.
So here's how we're sitting right now with the first three movies, guys. Let me go back here. It won't show us very good. Let's go like this then. So right now, zoom in a little bit so everyone's not squinting. We have the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back at A, and then B we have Return of the Jedi. So now we're going to be moving on. This is where controversy kind of starts.
Oh,
People,
boy.
are not happy whenever this came out. We're going to go Star Wars Episode 1. Although a lot of people took off work to see it. I mean, that's
I wish they did. 1997. It was, bro. Yes.
I'm sorry, 97?
Yes. So you were
7.
I was going to say not born yet. I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
I was 7.
That's what I was going to say. So Star Wars Episode 1. This is where everything kind
99.
of took off. 99.
99. It was they
I didn't know
re-released the
that
original
young.
movies in 97. The special editions. Well, we can talk about that too if you want.
Oh, yeah. So how'd you feel about the special editions?
At the time it was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, that's kind of but then as those movies have aged, guess what has also aged? The CGI that he added in those movies. I don't like it. I have a Blu-ray of the de-specialized movies. They took like the Blu-ray and then they took other stuff and they removed all of his stuff. So it's just the original versions, the theatrical versions, updated. It's close to high def as possible, and that's the version I prefer. I think Disney is leaving money on the table. They could re-release those original theatrical versions in full HD, and people would pay. I would buy them. And I don't buy anything that Disney puts out now, but I would absolutely buy those.
I had it was a Black Friday thing, back whenever Black Friday you waited in line and stuff. There was this it came with the Star Wars comic books and the 3 movies, and they were the specialized DVD movies. Yeah. And I was like, whatever, yeah, sure, that's cool. It's a Star Wars thing. But I didn't realize that in the bonus features was the original theatric version. They had changed a couple little things. Like I think Boba Fett's voice is a little bit changed, and then the crawl, they said it was a little bit faster. But besides that, it was none of the special added junk that they have. And those are the ones I watch every time now.
I have those DVDs too. The DVDs, I forget which version it was, but they also had the original theatrical cut, not upgraded, not upscaled at all, pretty much just as they were. It's a little bit better. I think it's like Laserdisc quality, not as bad as VHS, not quite DVD. And that's a good way to watch them, without any kind of alterations at all. But that despecialized edition, you got to find them. Like there's a guy on Facebook that sells them. It's kind of sketchy, but I bought a couple of them and they look really good. They're really nice. So it's just a shame that they don't have that that option for Star Wars fans who want to see them as they originally were. But I don't think George Lucas that's probably like written in there somewhere where they can't do that.
Yeah, and he and George Lucas says he's like, oh, we don't even have those anymore. And I'm like, how do you not have?
You know they do.
Yeah, they do. They do. He's just like, I don't want to. And have you ever watched any of the documentaries, like the George Lucas versus the People, that one? The one guy said in that documentary, like, it's kind of like, what if they went back to the Mona Lisa and said, oh, I just want to change a few things. Let me just, like, how mad would, the art community be? Like, no, you can't touch it. It's a masterpiece.
I agree. And it's like, you can have your special edition if you want to have that. If George wanted to touch it up and change all the things, you can have that, but also still sort of keep the original, because listen, at the very core of everything, his lack of budget, his creativity, his ingenuity in that first movie gave birth to all this. So people should be able to see that the way that it was originally put into a theater, so that they can have perspective for where it eventually went to. Because I think that if they see that with all those weird 1997 CGI stuff in there, it takes away some of the
Jabba the Hutt scene.
Yes. Oh, that was
terrible.
Really bad.
He looks like a giant turd, just like wobbling around. I'm like, why did you add this in here? It's so. And then Han shot. He's the only one that shot. It's not Han shot first. He's the only one that shot. Like, you have to
establish him as a scoundrel, which is what he is, right? He's doing what he has to do in the trade that he's in the line of work that he's in. And sometimes, you gotta shoot first and ask questions later. And that was a very Dirty Harry, Clint Eastwood type of thing to do. But that shows his arc, right? Like, he starts off that way, and then you see him sort of get redeemed. So if you take that away, it's just, I don't know. I hate, and the way that is executed, that special edition where Greedo shoots and he shoots, it comes off as just clunky, and
then they had where they had like Han like move his head weird, like they CGI'd his head like over to like make it look like he dodged a bullet.
Pull the camera out a little bit. It was just dumb. It was just better to just have it be, because he comes off as ruthless. So right off the bat, you're like, oh, this is a bad guy. Oh, wait, no, he's not really a bad guy. He's kind of a good guy,
Yes.
So,
yeah. Anyways, episode 1. What did
sorry. Yeah, so 97, yes. So now we got 99, and then we got episode 1.
Yes.
And I was just like everybody else. I was losing my mind over this, man. Dude. I was losing my mind. It was like, Star Wars is back, baby. George Lucas is directing. This is going to be great. And there was some absolute great stuff in here. I will always champion the freaking fight between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan Kenobi and Qui-Gon Jinn. That is just epic. It's awesome. The CGI at the time was just like mind-blowing. But it's probably my least. No, I think it's Attack of the Clones is probably my least favorite of the 3. But this is lacking in some ways for sure. But the pod racing is great. Like I said, the Darth Maul stuff. But where you really have some rough sort of CGI right there, the Gungan droid battle.
Yeah,
that looks rough, man. That looks really rough. I think George relied too much on CGI, and nothing dates a movie like digital effects.
Yeah, and I feel like too he was so used to, in the first film he did so much, and even though it's older, you can still give it the leeway and say, okay, this is a certain time and period, so that's the reason why it looks like that, which he does with these two, but those don't look as bad. Like, you can see like the art behind them and the model, and it does look kind of real, but you still give it a little bit of leeway. These, it's just like it's like if I take a picture of this pen, it's a real pen, right? So in 20 years or 30 years or 50 years, it's going to look like a pen because it actually was a pen. But if I digitally recreate like this pen, right, and it's the best graphics and best technology of the time, in 10 years, it's going to be like, God, that looks so fake. That pen's not even there. You can tell. It's sad. So then take that and then
multiply it by 1,000,000 and put it everywhere. And that's the problem, because you can't go back and touch some of this stuff up. This stuff in the desert, if there's just a spaceship in the background, okay, you can kind of forgive that. But when the whole thing is CGI, oh
Yeah.
man, that's rough.
And I think too, what else kind of hurt this is that you didn't know. In the old ones, you had a focal point. Like Luke was the good guy.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone kind of had their spots, and this was kind of just like you didn't have that central person. Like they kind of try to like push Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon into that position, along with Anakin somewhat, and then it was like, okay, so who's the hero? Like, it just kind of got too messy for me. Like, who's supposed to be the main dude here? And then in the Clone Wars, it kind of gets more like, okay, it's Obi-Wan and Anakin. It kind of makes it more, just irons it out a little bit better. This one was just kind of like, I don't know who's supposed to be the right person to root for here. Like, there's just so many people that are supposed to be good. So many people are supposed to be bad. Yeah, so it was kind of just all over the place for me.
What do you think about how do you feel about Darth Maul as a Sith Lord? I mean, the character.
I liked him, especially because this was whenever I was younger. So I was like, a guy with spikes and like he's really cool. I think they killed him off too soon. I think they should have
way too soon. Yeah,
he should have been the next. Like I think he should have died in episode of the next one, Attack of the Clones. He should have died in that one, and maybe had. Even Darth Maul and Anakin fight, and then Obi-Wan and Yoda and Count Dooku fight. Like,
I feel like because you had Count Dooku, and I don't know if maybe that was the way it was always supposed to be, but there's always this rule of two when it comes to the Sith. So you have you have the one that has the power and one that craves it. So it's a rule of two. So then Darth Maul's gone. So then Dooku comes in. But he was alive at the same time that Darth Maul, and they were both Sith, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I think you're right. I think if they could have kept Darth Maul, and then maybe he gets killed by Anakin in the third movie or the second movie, that would have had probably more impact, maybe. But I don't know. It's weird because that George knew he was going to make 3 movies. So he could have continued that story on. So I'm not sure why he chose to kill him off so quick, because he's such a cool character.
Count
Dooku is just like
an old guy. And then they tried to bring him back in the Clone Wars or the cartoons, which is cool. But then they added him in that Solo, which confused so many people that had didn't watch any of that. They're like, why is he here right now? Didn't he die? Like, so that really left that one for a lot of people like, what is happening right now? Like, it was very, very confusing. The guy who played Maul, though, Ray Park, I've met him in person. He's the nicest guy. He's really cool. He demonstrated the got out a fake lightsaber and demonstrated some of the cool moves he does. He's
legit. He's a legit martial artist. He was also Toad in the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the first X-Men movie. Yeah.
How about you, Burger Time, babe?
I loved this movie as a kid. So I was 9, and I remember just like being ecstatic and so excited. I was like, "Oh, when's the next one coming out? This is like the coolest thing ever."
Jar Jar Binks was your favorite?
I did like Jar Jar Binks as a kid. I was 9. I was 9. Okay,
loser. No, okay.
What about Queen Amidala? Like,
I loved her.
She was really. I thought that was really cool. The whole like the her guard was would stand in as her. That whole kind of thing was kind of cool, to where you didn't. I didn't really pick up that was when they got to Tatooine. I didn't really realize that was actually the queen. I was just kind of along for the ride. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. They had this bond, so that was kind of a cool twist. It was kind of maybe a little cheesy, but I thought it was good. I thought they handled that pretty well.
Yeah.
But I did.
All right.
I did. I loved this movie.
Let's see what the poll's at, and it's not surprising. It's kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
The lowest is D at 6%. Then we have A at 11%, B at 22%, and C at 61%. So we're going to give this one a C.
Solid C.
A solid C. That's what
they're going to kill the next one.
I know.
Kill the Clone Wars.
It's going to be a murder. There's a murder.
Murder.
All right, guys, as we have so far, So checking it out, we can fill them all up here right now if you guys. I think
That's
we're gonna
right.
get. All right, so let's go over here. Next one we have is Attack of the Clones. We finally get to see Anakin. As a teen, is he a teen here? Or is he a grown up? I always get kind of confused on that one. Like, what's he supposed to be?
19, 20.
Yeah, something like that.
He hates sand. We know that.
It's
Gets
it's coarse and it gets everywhere.
It gets everywhere.
Whenever you're out and on the beach, you're like, gosh, this sand.
This-
Why isn't it just mud? It should just be mud. But we're gonna put this in the poll for you all. So, episode 2, what'd you think? First time seeing it. Where'd you see it at? First of all, is this a theater type of thing, or were you like, I wait for it to come out on DVD? And what was the feeling around it?
Theater, and it was. I mean, at the time, when this is all going on, I mean, like this is like, okay, this is like Darth Vader. He's okay. He's got a lightsaber. Okay, this is this was kind of cool. I did like all of the all the stuff on Coruscant, the city planet, the whole planet is a city. That stuff was really cool. I liked finding out about the infrastructure in the Senate and all that, because I'm kind of nerdy about this stuff. But for I think the average moviegoer, they probably hated that stuff. And,
Yeah.
and so I understand that. But this is also, while all this stuff is going on, you're basically this plot is sort of being uncovered. This is how the Republic, begins to sort of deteriorate, and it's being torn apart from the inside by Palpatine. But I mean, I know it gets a lot of flack, but there's a lot going on in this movie, with the plot about the clones and all that being uncovered, and while the debates were going on and all that, and it's kind of a mixed bag. The overuse of CGI is very much there. You can see, I swear, man, some of these scenes, and if you go back and watch it and think about it like this, you see actors. I mean, like Samuel L. Jackson, like it's Ewan McGregor, and they're just like swatting at nothing, man, because they're in a room and it's all green screen, and they're like, I don't even know what's going on. Some of it's rough, but better than episode 1, but still, like right there, that shot of Natalie Portman, she's just like, I don't even know where everything is. I don't know. She's no idea, because it's just a studio. So, it's I like the war stuff. I like seeing a bunch of Jedi. That was all kind of cool. But this was kind of a slog. Kind of hard to get through a little bit. And then, man, I'm telling you what, God, George Lucas, he's horrible with dialogue. Like the whole love scene, where you have Anakin and Padme falling in love, like that it just felt awkward. I don't know. I just that
whenever she's like, we can't do this, Anakin. She's wearing this like leather.
I know.
It's just like it's like
black corset. I'm like,
yeah.
Wait, I mean, Anakin, you're sending mixed messages to the man.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Yes, yeah. We can't, but we must. Kind of thing.
I don't.
But
it was. I think that could have been handled. I think if you had a better writer, a better script, I think there could have been more sort of subtle winks and nods, and they sort of fall in love that way, a little bit more natural, but it did seem a little bit forced. Pardon the pun.
Yeah, like the whole floating apple thing. Like, I'm gonna cut this apple and float it. It was just weird. I don't know. It was the whole
I mean, but to be fair though, like, okay, listen, as you two were dating, if you could use the Force to impress her, you absolutely would have. See, she knows. She knows. She's...
Yeah, you would have.
That's it. I was like, look, I can play Galaga.
And you won her heart.
Yes. That's what happened.
Just like that. Yep.
That's funny.
I remember seeing this. I saw this in the theaters, and the ending, at the end of it, I was like, whoa, because you see Yoda fight for the first time.
Yeah.
And that just like stunned everyone, because he walks in there and you're like, what's he gonna do? Like, force him around, and all of a sudden he whips out his lightsaber and you're like, no way, we're gonna see Yoda actually fight. And he goes like nuts. He's all over the place,
Crazy.
jumping.
My mom cracked up.
She started laughing.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh,
It's funny, and I think a lot of people took it two different ways. Like if you have like reverence for the movies and reverence for Yoda, and we finally get to see him in action, we were like awestruck. But I think an average moviegoer is like, wait a minute, this little guy is like flipping around like a little ninja weird guy. Like why is he faking it with a cane? What's going on? So I get that point of view too.
Yeah, but again, if they would have toned down, honestly, if they would have just cut out him and Padme falling in love, it would have been 10 times better. That's what like ruined half the movie, is like these weird, awkward.
I would love to hear if she has a point of view. Burger Time Babe, do you think that, how would you have liked to have seen those two kind of hit it off? Like what would, how would you, if this is your movie now, you get to make it, how would you kind of have that connection? Because it seems a little forced.
Oh man. I don't know, because I thought it was weird the entire time. I'm like, okay, you met this kid when he was 10, 9 or 10, and now you're like in love with him. So I was just kind of put off from the whole thing. Anyways. I guess.
No.
I don't know. I guess I hadn't really thought about that.
I think about this because it's like, I think when we were younger, we didn't, as guys, we don't get it. But then as we get a little older and we see what women gravitate towards, and we see how things actually happen for real, I think that he should have, just my 2 cents, he was kind of like too eager in the movie. Like he should have been more focused on being a Jedi, and then she sort of sees his focus on that and his toxic masculinity or whatever, right? He's super focused on being this awesome Jedi and this badass, and she sees him in a different light, because you're right, she knows him as this kid, like this little kid. This is weird, but when she sees him just focused and like leading the charge and all that, she finds herself sort of caught up in that. And then it maybe happens a little more organically to where they're like, or maybe they're even adversarial. Like he's like, I ain't got time for you. And she's like, that's right, I don't have time for you. Because she's a senator. She's an ambassador. She's not just some, but to see those two almost fighting each other and then eventually just sort of succumb and you know what I mean? Like, I think that would have been kind of a better way to kind of do it, to where they're both trying really hard not to show that they are interested, but they actually really are. So I think that they could have handled that much better.
Yeah, he like you said, he was too forceful. It was just weird.
It came off creepy.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm just saying, at like 17, if I was in this scenario, if he's like 17, 18, I don't know how he's supposed to be here, but just be like, it'd be so awkward. He doesn't talk to girls. I mean, he's a Jedi. So you'd be like walking up like, huh, remember that time I killed those bugs in your bedroom? That was crazy.
That was cool, right? When I did that, that was awesome.
Like it was pretty neat. It's pretty neat. Like
I think it would have been like, because I think that she would be somebody who'd be attracted to strong like men that were like authoritarian, because she is in her own right very much a strong woman. She's forceful. She fights for, she's a senator, right? She's fighting for the freedom of her people and all that, with all the blockades going on and all that. So yeah, to have this kind of weirdo emo kind of kid kind of like drooling over her was just kind of weird. I think that it would have been cool to have them just sort of be like, both of them very like, I don't know if you may be too young for this, but you are almost 40. So I'm going to throw it out there. Remember the show Moonlighting?
Nope.
Okay. So this show, and for the old people in the crowd, you know what I'm talking about. Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd. Before Bruce Willis did Die Hard, he was in this movie called Moonlighting. And the whole thing, they were in this office. They were like private investigators / lawyer, I think. Anyway, the sexual tension was just amazing, because they just on screen looked like they hated each other, at each other's throat, always cutting each other down. But you knew, like underneath, like there's something there. And then several seasons go on, and eventually they hook up. That's what we needed here. like a moonlighting situation, where he's like, I'm a Jedi. I have no time for women. I'm being awesome. And she's like, that's right. I'm a senator. I have no time for men. I'm just being awesome. But then they just can't fight it anymore. That's the way they should have done it.
And then they should have chimed in with the hungry eyes.
One look at you and I can't disguise. And then they do a dance and he lifts her up at the end of the movie.
That's right. That's right. All right. So
because they've had the time of their lives.
Yes. So the poll, as of right now, we have in last place C at 6%, and then a tie for A and B at 25%, and comes out D at 40. Just switched 41%. So they just switched up there a little bit, but this is a D. We gotta give them the D. You know how it is. Let's go ahead and put episode 2 in the D.
You're so
That's
ridiculous.
right.
That's right. So we got so far, guys. This is what we got so far. We're on episode 3. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Revenge of the Sith. This is the big boy of the prequels, I think. I mean, this has got to be, if you like anything with the prequels, it's usually this movie everyone brings up. Like, this is the one. So much anticipation. So many things that you're like, how are they going to make this happen, make this work? How are they going to make that Christian, is it Hayden Christensen turn into Darth Vader? All the questions are answered within this movie. So, what'd you think of it when you saw it in theaters?
Epic. I mean, it's epic. It is. My worst criticism of this is it's probably a little rushed. I think that they could have taken what happened in Clone Wars and this movie, and they could have stretched that out and made that 3 movies. I don't know that we need to see Anakin as a kid. I think that they could have taken their time with this and really stretched it out. We saw a little bit of the dark side in Anakin in the second movie, when he killed the Tusken Raiders because they killed his mom, and so we saw that a little bit, but I think they could have stretched this out a little bit more. So if they would have had that same amount of information spread out over 3 movies instead of 2, it would have been a little more satisfying because it does seem a little bit rushed. But obviously, like, the movie starts off now. At this point, the CGI is top tier. I mean, it's really good. So it starts off with that.
They should have started episode 1 at this point in time, because this is where you had good CGI.
Yeah, that's not a bad. Yeah, exactly. You had really good CGI, and if you limit it to space battles, I think you're good. It's when you're trying to recreate grass. Like, what are you doing? Stop. You're not. It's not. Just use real grass. But absolutely epic. The fight scene, especially if you're into like the behind the scenes stuff with Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor and the amount of practice they had for that final duel. It's just epic with the lava and everything. It's so iconic. This is just, if I had to watch one movie out of these 3, I would watch this one over and over again. I just thought that it was just epic. It was awesome. It was brutal. I mean, they had to show Anakin go to some very, very, very dark places if you were going to believe that he was Vader, which is why I think they probably should have stretched it out a little bit. I mean, he goes like that fast, he's killing younglings, and that was a little too quick for me. That they could have stretched that out some. Epic movie, connective tissue, all that good stuff, connecting the old with the new. I was my favorite of the trilogy for sure.
Mine too.
Yeah. What do you think, Burger Time Babe?
I loved this movie. I'm pretty sure I saw it several times in theater. And then I remember thinking, well, now what? There's nothing else. There's no more.
Right.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. If only there was like 3 more movies after that.
My dad was like, well, you can read the books. And I'm like, but I want to watch a movie.
Your dad said you should read the books?
Mm-hmm.
Your dad is a wise man. I'm serious. There is so much goodness in those books.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll save that credit. I'll save it. I'll be quiet.
Dude,
Sorry.
the Thrawn trilogy. Okay, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so I remember seeing this in the theater. I believe I tapped it out like 21 times because I.
I'm sorry, did you say 21?
The thing is, we had a dollar theater near us too. So like I went and saw it probably like I'd say close to 10 times in the normal theater, and then the dollar theater had it, and like every time my mom was like, I'm gonna go shop at the mall. I'm like, I'm gonna watch episode 3 again for $2. Like, and I go over there and watch episode 3. Like, like love this movie.
Did you watch it recently when it came out, the 20th anniversary?
No, I couldn't.
Dude, I saw it. Oh man, dude, I
Yeah.
forget how long it has been. Probably when it first came out, right? When I saw it in theater. I never saw a re-release. I don't think it had one. When I watched it again by myself, just me, didn't take because no one wanted to go with me. Imagine that. It's weird. Watch this in theater again, man. I'm telling you what, it's just awesome. It's just so epic. So yeah, I see why you watched this 21 times.
I would love to see it again in theater, honestly.
Yeah, it's the only one I
So
saw
good.
again in theater was episode 1 because they were redoing them in 3D. And this was
Yeah.
right before Disney took over. Lucas had this whole plan to re-release them all in 3D with updated, junk and all that. So I went and saw episode 1 again in 3D, and then Disney bought them and they just halted the whole thing. Otherwise, I probably would have watched all of them in 3D because I would just go back. But they rescued Spock. I like the part where they rescued Spock.
How dare you? Oh, what are you doing?
No, but this was like, I love this movie to death. I especially at that age where I was, a teenager and angsty anyway. This whole movie's like an angsty teenager, like turning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like it aligned perfectly with what I was going through in my life.
Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, like everyone, no one understands
me,
guys.
When was this one?
What?
When did this one come out?
I think it was 2005.
Oh, okay.
So I was like 16, 17. So I was all like, the world,
the world.
I know better than everybody. Gosh. Yeah. So
20 years ago, buddy. 20 years.
That's insane.
20 years ago. That's insanity. But this one I love. There's so many, so much they tie together. Things I didn't like. There's a couple things, I think it was too rushed. Like you said, there's too much going on in some places where it's like they could have really actually some of the stuff in the like video games and stuff that expanded on it. I was like, man, I wish they would just would have put this in the movie. Like they had a whole thing in the episode 3 video game where he went through the temple and actually fought Jedi, not just like marched in there with a bunch of clone troopers and then killed younglings. Like in the video game, you got to kind of see more of him, actually fighting real Jedi. But and one thing you got to do in the video game too is that really just pretentious librarian, you get to kill her, which is nice.
She had it coming, didn't she?
I was like, if it's not in the records, it doesn't exist. Well, guess what? Like, you know,
boom, son.
But that was another thing with these. I will say during this time, I feel like was the best time to love Star Wars video games because there were so many that came out during this time.
Yes.
And they were just like bam, 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 bam. Like, and they were great. KOTOR 1 and 2, Battlefront 1 and 2. You had just all Legos that came out for kids.
My favorite, The Force Unleashed.
The Force Unleashed. Yeah.
I have it on Steelbook. I have 1 and 2 on Steelbook. I love that freaking game. I loved it. It was literally The Force Unleashed. That's what it's the title. It's aptly named. It was just taking all those powers that we saw. We really see them flushed out in this movie, right? We really see the lightning and the powers and all that. And that game just cranks it up to 11. It's so awesome. And you're 100% right. The early 2000s, mid 2000s was a great time to be a Star Wars fan. They were pumping out some good stuff. I mean, really quality stuff.
And then too, it was you had the books that were coming out too, and then you had the toys that were everywhere. I mean, I remember going to Walmart and there's a whole row of Star Wars toys.
Quality stuff too. Like the little lightsabers that were like 3 feet long, and you hit the button and they would actually, the LEDs would extend out. I had like 5 of those. And I said they were for my kids. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
Because I was buying them for my nephew, sure. But they
Yeah.
were so cool. They were like $35, and they were like at the time they were some of the realest lightsabers out there, right? It was so cool, man. Such a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I know that obviously in the 70s/80s, whenever Star Wars first came out, that was like an amazing time. But I truly think that like this is the
I think
time to be a Star Wars. This is the
I know.
best
I
time.
think that's fair. 100%
Yeah.
fair. I think in contrast, I had a lightsaber in the 80s. You know what it was? You know what it was? It was a Darth Saber lightsaber. It was a long plastic tube, and it had stickers on it, so it was red, like Darth Vader's lightsaber. And they just had holes in it. And if you wanted it to make the sound, you had to swing it really hard, so the air would flow through. So you would get this effect.
Yes.
So that was your lightsaber. You know.
On a side note, Ewan McGregor, is it Ewan McGregor? Ewan McGregor? Ewan McGregor. They had an issue with him during all of these because he kept trying to make the lightsaber sound with his mouth as he was doing it, and they had to keep telling him like, "Stop making the noise."
Liam Neeson did the same thing.
Yeah. You just do it naturally.
It's funny.
Okay, guys, let's see where we're at. The poll currently A at 12%, C at 12%, D, some people think this is a D movie at 18%,
What?
and B at 59%. So the
Okay.
people have spoken. It's a B. Okay,
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I can appreciate that, you know. Is this where you would rank it too? Would you rank it a B out of the Star Wars? Where would you rank this personally?
I don't know. I'm kind of biased. I gave it an A. I think that it's just top tier prequel for sure. I think I gave episode 1. I gave it a B. I was generous. I gave episode 2 a C. Because in my heart of hearts, I can't give a Star Wars movie a D. Well, let me take that back. I can't give one of these Star Wars movies a D.
I was gonna say, give it a minute.
Give it a minute. We're gonna talk about something right here.
Yeah. Maybe this is a better. There we go. So we're kind of excited. So this is where we're at right now, guys. We got A is still episodes. I'm gonna do episodes. Episode 5 and 6. B is episode 6 and 3. C is episode 1, and D is episode 2. So let's move on to.
I'm gonna have to watch 2 again. I don't remember it being that bad.
You don't remember 2 being that bad?
Mm-mm.
I think you definitely need to watch it, especially for the romance stuff. It was.
That's just
It was. Whew,
the sand thing. If they just would have not done the sand thing.
Yeah, it was not good. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, it was not great at all. But those mistakes cannot compete. No. Episode 7. I'm not even going to capitalize a lot of this. So let's go ahead and get this poll going. So episode 7. For me personally, I had a lot of hope. Lots of hope. This was a new hope, technically, for me. Like,
literally, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like George Lucas is kind of done. He already has his, he's kind of getting older. He's wanting to pass the torch kind of thing. Disney signed on. I'm like, Disney, they're making Marvel movies right now that are doing awesome. What could go wrong? And we learned what could go wrong.
Oh, my Lord have mercy.
This one I didn't think was as bad. This one I left the theater like, okay, this is a nice start. Like they're kind of laying the foundation. Lots of things are similar to A New Hope. But I'm like, they're trying to lay the groundwork. So I'm like, they really kind of had to, really rethink some things. So I wasn't too offended by this movie. I don't know. I didn't leave the theater super impressed. There's things that irked me that didn't make sense, like Han Solo not having the Millennium Falcon anymore. I was like, so he just gave that up randomly, and Han Solo dying was also stupid as all get out. But I wasn't like super offended by the movie. What about you, Burger Time, babe?
Well, Thumper Squid is cracking me up with all these puns and dad jokes. by the way. Just,
What is the temperature of a tauntaun? Lukewarm.
yeah, I mean, he's had like quite a few scenes. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember these movies.
No one does.
I think that's more. That means more, I think, than what you intended. I think that's that could be the majority of moviegoers. It was not that impactful.
Yeah, I don't remember them. I remember like, oh, these are kind of cool, but like, I don't have much to say about these just because I mean, I'll wait, I guess, but I don't have much to say about this because I just don't remember them.
All right, Fox, what's your
Okay,
I
here I am.
Yes.
Here I am, a middle-aged man, almost with grandchildren. My mother comes up from Texas, all right? I have my sister in from Iowa for other things, right? But we go watch this movie. We're all together. We go watch this movie. I'm sitting there with my mother. I'm sitting there with my children, my wife, my sister. We're watching this. Oh my God, Star Wars again. I couldn't have been more excited. And I didn't get to see Luke Skywalker even speak a word. But J.J. Abrams, I watched Lost, right? When it was on TV, J.J. Abrams does this. He's got his mystery box. So he does a lot of like, we're asking questions. We're going to set things up. What's going on? Ooh. So I was like, okay. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff, a lot of cool stuff. I had several questions. Why did Han Solo just unceremoniously just get killed? You know, why did they not use anything from the extended universe? But okay, I'm fine. I left the theater probably much like you, sort of like, okay, I can't wait to see where this goes. It was weird that they just wipe out 5 planets like it ain't no big deal. For some reason, we're still in a rebellion, but we're also in charge of the Republic.
Yeah.
That was weird. Hey, how did you not notice a freaking super weapon 10 times the size of a Death Star? I figure after the events of the other movies, you'd have like a radar for like super weapons. Like, hey, just in case like somebody's making something, let's make sure we have like a device that could track it and just make sure that way we could say, no, don't do that. Had some questions, but I was like, okay. We can move forward. We can figure this out. I can't wait to see what's going on. And the big cliffhanger, right, was Luke at the end. So you're like, to your point, Burger Time, babe, like, it's almost like the big takeaway from the movie is I can't wait to see what the next one, what's going on in the next one, you know, like, yeah. So that's kind of how I was, not super negative at the time, not super negative on it. Very much looking forward to what was going to happen. I thought Finn was going to be a Jedi. I thought for sure he was going to be Force sensitive.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
That would have made more sense. And that would have been such a good, like, his concept as a story was so amazing. You are a child who's taken in and basically forced into a military, and then you go AWOL on that military, fight against them, and become a Jedi. That's an amazing. And then you're fighting.
What an incredible story!
Yeah, you're fighting the people that you fought along with. Like you like. There's so many things you could have done.
And I think like it was funny when like the Jedi would identify children at a young age that were Force sensitive, right? And they would bring them into the fold as a Jedi. I thought it would have been kind of cool if the Empire used that same sort of thought process in identifying stormtroopers. So he was selected because he was Force sensitive, but they didn't call it Force sensitive, and they didn't take him down the Jedi path. They took him down the stormtrooper path. So it would have been cool that he finds out you're special, but it's not because you're a good stormtrooper. You're special because you have the Force. You're Force sensitive. I mean, that would have been so much better. So much speaking to why he felt so out of place. Like he rebelled. Like he thought he knew in his core, this ain't right. Where does that come from? That comes from the Force inside you. And then imagine we get to teach that whole lesson to a new generation, and Luke becomes the Obi-Wan and all that. I was so excited until the second movie came out.
Yes, there's so many things where they could have gone, and I think J.J. Abrams, although there is mistakes in this movie that I don't agree with, he did set it up so like, okay, there's a lot of potential for the next movie to be amazing. But we also have a $20 super chat from Ace of Jack's Meeting
Hey!
Grounds. Holy moly! Fox needs to apologize for thinking Star Wars Episode 3 is any good. Everyone knows The Last Jedi is the best.
I'm going to take all my rage and I'm going to internalize it. And I'm going to bury it deep down inside and never bring it up again. And I'll keep all that rage at bay with some bourbon.
That's right. Thank you so much, Ace of Jacks, for your $20 super chat. Didn't quite get an apology, but you know, it's just a ball that he holds and he forces down inside of himself and never talks about it again.
Just bury it inside.
Yes, just don't ever let it break. Just don't let any cracks through. I remember on this movie, I saw it before any of my family did because I'm a Star Wars. And this stuff, okay, real quick. This also, let me go back here.
The Knights of Ren?
This stuff, it's like, why didn't you do anything?
I know. That's what I'm saying.
This
there
is amazing.
Was so much.
That would have been cool. Like he has this whole army of like Jedi, you know, kids that he took from the temple whenever the whole thing with Luke happened, and it's just wasted. But anyways, sorry, I saw that. I was like, oh.
No, you're 100% right. And that's exactly what I think most of the people that talk about this movie in a positive light say. There were so many things, so much sprinkled in, so many ways it could have gone. Like you're exactly right. Were these all Force users? I mean, it would have been just incredible to see some of this stuff actually flushed out. And instead of being flushed out, it was flushed right down the toilet.
Well, now you have to let out the rage for another $20.
For $50 more, I will let out the rage. And it will be a rant of epic proportion, but it will require another $50 for my good friend, Galga Guy.
Oh. But, so I went, thank you so much, Ace Jackson, before we move on. But I, thank you again for another $20 super chat. I really appreciate all that you're doing for us tonight. Super, super great guy. Check him out. Actually, should be live here in a couple minutes. So don't, stick around. But also, if you want to head over there and say hello, by all means, do that too. Don't tip me. Don't tip me, he says. All right. Who wants to hear Fox Right?
It's probably going to happen. Save your money. It's going to happen anyway. Because this next one, next one going to get me fired up. So don't worry about it.
So I went to the theater and I saw this first, and then I always play pranks. I tease my brothers and sisters. This is what you do. I told them, hey, there's Harrison Ford in this. He comes back, and then Mark Hamill, he comes back too. And I said, you're always like wondering, are these people going to be able to land their parts like they used to? And I'm telling you, Mark Hamill. He just nails it. So they're in there, like watching, and then the movie, at the end of the movie, he's sitting there and he stands up real tall, and then it just cuts, and they're both just like,
you're like,
yes. And so that's what $50 super chat. All right, Fox, you gotta let it out. How do you feel about Star Wars Episode 7? Let the rage fill you. Bring your ball out and just play with it for a little bit.
Oh no. Get ready.
He's going full Sith, guys. He's going full Sith.
Of all the half-baked, ignorant efforts by a supposed director who makes millions of dollars, can you imagine for 1 second being given diamonds, gold, jewelry, the most precious franchise in all the world, only to take it and just strip everything good out of it, throw it into like plain oatmeal and just serve it at like room temperature? It's exactly what Episode 7 was. It was a rehash of old omelets, old eggs, old like 4-day-old breakfast served to you and being forced to eat this sludge and pretend like it's something valuable, like it's something that matters, like anybody in the world would see anything in this other than yesterday's old recycled garbage, which is exactly what it was. It was a book with no end. It was a box that had nothing inside of it. There was nothing in it. There was nothing creative. There was nothing flushed out. It was absolutely the definition of a nothing burger. In fact, it was a nothing super meal, supersized. There you go. Rant done.
That rant's brought to you in part by Ace of Jackson Media Grass.
Wasn't it?
Oh, thank you so much for the rant, Fox. We're not even to the worst of it. We're getting to the worst of it.
Oh,
We're in the poll
wow.
here. We're in the poll here. That was worth it. That was worth it. Okay, we will put that up on the screen. I don't know if you saw Saint Spirit's latest. Oh, you're able to buy a premium version that's purchased. Yeah, maybe. Okay, we're in the poll here. We got a C out of this, actually. People are giving it a C. So they're saying that it is on par with episode 1. That's what they're saying. Oh my gosh. I'm going to need Fox to step it up a bit. He's holding back, and it's intolerable. Okay, we're going to save that.
I may swing for the fences on the next movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jason Alien, 100% appreciate it. We're gonna take this $50 and we're gonna put it in the bank right now because he's gonna save that rant for the next movie because the next movie he's gonna have some words, lots of words. All right, so episode 7, we're saying it's on par with episode 1. That's what they're saying. They're on the same level as that. So we're gonna keep going. See, this is where all gets this is so many things about this one. I'm like, I don't know, guys. This is the worst. This is by far.
It's painful.
It's very painful. It's very painful. Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Let's pull it up here. Hurt everyone's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Fox, what did you think going into this? What was your expectations? Did you have any expectations? What did you think?
Much like, I think my feelings after watching episode 7, going into episode 8, hopefully some of those questions, of which there were many, being answered or at least expounded upon, and then maybe eventually answered in episode 9, right? So who is Snoke? What is Snoke? The dark.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Side.
Sorry, I'm already getting angry for you. Like, what's Snoke? Like,
go ahead, just go, brother.
Go ahead. Sorry.
We're going in, and once again, now my mom and sister are not here this time, but all my sons are with me, and they know Dad's really excited. He gets to finally see Luke Skywalker speak. At least that's what I was hoping. So excited about learning more about this world, this mystery box that J.J. Abrams had introduced to us all. Answer some questions, expound upon it. Where's the story going to go? I'm excited. What happened? Why is Luke on this island? All these things. And then almost immediately, this infantile moron, this intellectual dunce, this slightly elevated slug of a human being named Ryan Johnson decided in his infinite wisdom that he thought it would be kind of a neat, kind of an idea to take one of the most cherished characters in cinematic history, and that is not an understatement. Once again, going all the way back to episode 4, we talked about Luke embodying the hero's journey, the small town boy with dreams of grandeur, of something more, of something beyond himself, which can be applicable to every single human being on the face of the planet, always aspiring for something different, something more, seeking out a broader perspective. The most optimistic character in cinematic history who fought against all odds, his best friends, his sister saying Vader's lost. Don't even waste your time. And he saw through determination, through sheer will, through the almost it's the most dedication you could see to someone, to an ideology, which was the Jedi path, the Jedi way, to see the good in his father, to see all that being rewarded and the redemption thereof, to see Luke Skywalker before he utters a single syllable take the lightsaber of his father and throw it over his shoulder. I almost died right there. My head almost exploded right there, and I would have had gray brain matter all over my own children. It would have been horrendous. I didn't know what to think as that was going on. I'm like, well, okay, where's this going to go? And you know where it went? Once again, I referenced this before. It went right in the toilet. It got worse from there. But when you start off the movie with that, not even a slap in the face of every single Star Wars fan, but you slapped us in the face, you kicked us while we were down, and then you took our wallets and took all of our money and you bought Pokemon crap with it. That's what you did with my money, and I couldn't be more upset about that. It was just unbelievable that someone would use this movie as sort of an experimentation to kind of, I'm going to subvert your expectations. It was just unbelievable what was done to these cherished characters that when I left the movie, all three of my boys were like, hey, Dad, what'd you think? What'd you think? And I didn't even say a word. I remember walking and just going for my keys. I'm like, well, that was a movie, and where we park? We over here? Where we? Oh, okay, let's go. And they didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know what I'd witnessed. I didn't know why in the world that this moron was given this much power, this much influence, this much direction, or I guess the lack of direction, to just completely rip apart. I mean, just rend and tear and tatter something so precious to so many people. Other than that, I thought the movie was great. It was. I tell you what, seriously though, it really was shocking. I left the movie theater seriously, and my sons were like, Dad, what'd you think? And I didn't know what to tell them. I'm like, well, I think I said, we walked and we got in the truck, headed home. And I remember saying, boys, I think I'm just, Luke died. And I think I'm just kind of shocked by that. I'll let you know how I feel tomorrow. And it just didn't get any better. It didn't get any better. This movie is a phenomenal waste of time. Like, it undoes everything that was done in episode 7. Yeah. And all those things were not even fully fleshed out ideas. So we're left even more confused by the end of this movie than we were from the beginning of the movie that preceded it. So it undoes everything. It trivializes everything. Snoke is just unceremoniously killed without any sort of explanation whatsoever.
Yeah, I was like, oh, who's the bad guy now? Snoke is dead. Like, he's just murdered. Like, they just killed him off. Like, I'm like, what are you supposed to do now? Like, he's the bad guy, and the bad guy is just gone. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Yeah, like, car handle real good. I mean, we have no idea. It's just everything that was set up was thrown away. I just, what can you say? Oh, and also bombs, they don't fall in space. No gravity.
Listen, though, they went to the casino world.
Well, you're right.
And they freed the horses.
That's what matters. That's the real victory. Yeah, you're right.
That whole plot line with Finn and Rose was just like, what are we doing here? This leads absolutely nowhere. Yeah. Nothing happens. and whatever they're trying to do doesn't work, and they just go right back to where they were originally. I'm like, why was that even in there? I don't understand.
Well,
It was
the
very
whole
strange.
thing is like what they're. You notice how they're just jumping in and out of like, hey, this impenetrable fortress, which is the ship that's got the shields and nobody can penetrate. But they're just like jumping in and out, like it just light speed zoom. Hey, here comes the Millennium Falcon, and then there's they jettison a little pod, and then it's gone again. And hey, here's Ray, and oh, they're running out of fuel, and it's like, well, that's never really been an issue before, and it's just like this slow race, and then evidently you can light speed into somebody. Well, that's not how that works. You enter a different dimension when you go into light speed. It's not just you don't just go real fast. I was so, after a day of decompression, I was so disappointed, so upset. It actually launched my YouTube channel because this is what started it. This was the first video I ever did. I think I actually I took it off the channel now, but it was just a rant about how it was basically like, what did we want? What was that? Like, what was that? Like, no one even knows what happened. It was sad.
The thing is too is like the whole jumping light speed thing into the other ships, which the purple-haired lady did, who treated we won't get into political stuff because we don't want to go that far into it, but all the men were treated as if they were just complete morons in the movie. If you watch this movie, you look at every man, he's just a moron. But then she takes it and she like jets into the other ships, and I'm like, if this really worked, then the Separatists would have won the war against the clones. They could have just strapped hyperdrives to their androids or their droids and just like hyperspace and destroy the planet.
And to your point, all the men are stupid. Okay, well, if you had set that up in the first movie where all the men were stupid, like all the characters, let's say all the characters were, put them in a stereotype. They were all misogynistic. They were all, they were all just whatever, but they were incompetent. But you didn't do that in the first movie. In the first movie, you established that Poe is a great pilot. He's awesome. He's a tactician. He's the best out there. And then you sideline, which is just wild when you think about it. They didn't just kill the old characters, like reduce them to nothing and treat them like garbage. They took characters that they just introduced in the movie before and turned them into buffoons and morons. And it was just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I thought Poe was this badass. Now he's just stupid. Like I don't. Yeah. And then they got Finn like rolling off. He just rolls off the table. And like this comical, stupid thing, but he was just going toe to toe with a Sith, like he was wielding a lightsaber, and now he's like dumb.
Well, that too. That was another thing I think in this series where they just didn't explain things, because someone had told me like, oh well, Finn was actually part of in the comics, I guess, or wherever this was, like he was supposed to be part of a special unit which was able to fight, like they specialized in lightsaber dueling, and I'm like, why was that never explained? Why in the movie did I never hear that? So like now I understand, like, okay, he went up against a Sith Lord or whatever you want to call Kylo Ren, and he kind of held his own for a little bit. I'm like, okay, that makes way more sense than he's just a clone trooper that he decided to pick up a lightsaber.
So in episode 7, remember when Finn's got the lightsaber. And the one stormtrooper says traitor, and he comes out and he's got like this weapon that can go toe to toe with a lightsaber. So he could have been part of that core, whatever they would be, and that would explain some of that backstory, because in the books and in the movies and all this, there's been this thought process, and I don't know if it's really been fleshed out completely, but if you're a Jedi, to even hold a lightsaber, because of the power that's in that with the crystal and all that stuff going on in that lightsaber and the beam that comes out of it, you're supposed to be a Force user just to be able to wield it, to even hold it and use it, because it's so powerful, right? For him to just pick it up, that's why I thought, okay, well, this guy, he's Force sensitive. Like there's something special about him, and they reduce him to just like nothing. You even said it, the whole the Vegas planet they went to, the whole casino planet, that was so just vapid and empty and nothing. Like, why was that even in the movie?
And the thing that made me most mad, the thing that made me most angry at this movie was because the best line in the sequel trilogy is said within this movie, and it is totally wasted at the worst moment. The line is, instead of trying to destroy what we hate, how's it go? We should protect the things that we love.
Right.
And it's Rose kissing Finn at the weirdest moment.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is like the best line in the whole movie. And
as the
so
big
impactful.
death laser just blows up the base, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, Finn was trying to, and Finn could have had a sacrifice. He could have given his life for his friends to destroy the Death Star tech laser or whatever. But she just crashes into him. So he doesn't even get that heroic moment. And then she gets a little kiss while everybody's being killed behind him. I don't understand. None of it makes any sense. It was all wasted. It was all dumb. There was nothing. I've never seen a movie like this where there's nothing redeeming about it at all. There's not a plot point that makes sense. There's not. I mean, Ray just shows up at the end when they're on the salt planet where the guy, remember this? The guy actually takes his finger. He's like, salt. Like, what? Like, I guess because they wanted to make sure we knew it wasn't snow. I don't know. And then remember when Ray shows up and she just like shoots 3 TIE fighters with one shot. And it's like, wait a minute. How?
Well,
like, how are you better than Han Solo?
And the first one, she's never driven a spaceship at all. And all of a sudden she's like wheeling and dealing in the thing. And she was a big Mary Sue. And it really came through. Especially whenever she's even fighting like Kylo Ren. Like he's a Sith Lord. Even if he's damaged, like, I'm still like, dude, if you're just some hick on this desert planet, there's no way you're taking on. It'd be like Luke taking on Vader in the original Star Wars. It's like at that point in time, Luke would have died.
Luke had no idea. He had no idea what he was doing. And what could have been so cool, you could have found out that like maybe they were, Rey and Finn. Maybe they were actually trained as Jedi back in the day, or maybe Luke had them as part of his academy, and then to save their lives, he wiped their memories temporarily, right? So that they wouldn't know about it. Their training, so they couldn't be captured by the new whatever the new empire is. I forget whatever it is. The First Order.
First Order,
the First Order. That and then to have that revealed later would have been something, right? It would have been kind of cool. And then you see, okay, that's how they could fight Kylo Ren, right? It took 2 of them, but at least that explains some of it. And then they get to awaken this sort of latent potential within themselves and all that. But none of it happens. No, it's just a giant waste. It's a waste of your time. Nothing happens. Nothing gets resolved. Everybody ends up right back where they started, only in worse shape. More people die. It's just horrible.
Stan Spear says, Fox, give in to your anger. Let the hate flow.
I am a Sith Lord.
Okay, well, now time for Rage with Fox. Tell us, Fox.
I feel like I raged. This is just, it's at this point now, the rage has subsided to just utter sadness and emptiness, because it really is. Like, you could just take this movie, if you like the sequel trilogy, take episode 8 out of it completely, and it makes no freaking difference. It makes no difference. I mean, nothing happens except we have Luke Skywalker show up only to die. That's about it. That's all he does. He's like, I got to show up so I can die. Great. And nothing else happens. There's side quests that mean absolutely nothing. There's nonsense. There's physics that don't even make sense. If you can't make something work in science fiction, you know how bad you have to be. You know how off you have to be. It's make believe, and even everybody that believes in your make believe is like, I don't believe that. I don't buy it. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's empty. It's vapid. You waste characters you just introduced the movie before, just evaporate in freaking thin air. One dude, you cut him in half for no reason, and then you put him in a gold like robe before, like Hugh Hefner? You just cut him in half. It made no sense. It's a waste of time. You made a movie to kill Luke, which is why I think that it's unfortunate that we don't have the ability to give this an F in the chat. So D's all around.
I'll have to do that next time. A, B, C, F.
F.
That's what I have
Yeah,
to
when
do.
it comes to episode 8, F is really the only option. You should just have F and that's it. F or double F, I guess.
Well, we have this may induce your rage even further.
Stop it. Don't do it.
In the votes, we have at C 6%.
Oh my God. Who the hell?
You're gonna be worse. At A 19%.
Hey! Hey! 19% of this audience is just trolling. I'm going to believe you're a troller.
Okay.
You're just a troll. You can't actually think that this movie is an A. You can't. You're not allowed. It's in the Geneva Convention. No.
0 B's and D is 75%. So nearly 20%
Love
of
75% of you. The other 25%, I worry about you, and I will be praying for you.
All right, win that poll. And we'll go on
Absolutely insane.
to the next one, which is Star Wars Episode 9. Now this one
This is Star Wars episode. Oops.
Yes.
We got to make it all make sense. What do we do?
Yeah. So this one I do give a little bit more lax to, because I feel like J.J. Abrams, like, he was like, what do I do with this?
Agreed.
Like, what do I do with this? Like, I have to just try and like make something work with what I've been given. I don't really know, like, how to, like, he had no bad guy. Like, he set up a bad guy. Like, imagine being in that like room with J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson, and he's like, oh yeah, like, you're doing 9 then. He's like, yeah. He's like, well, don't worry, I left it real great for you. He's like, oh yeah, so Snoke, he's doing pretty good. He's like, well, Snoke's dead. Like, oh, okay, well, Luke Skywalker, I still got him, right? He's like, no, he's dead too. It's like, oh, well, what do I do now? Like, there's nothing left. Like, like, the main villain's gone. And he's like, well, what do I do with Rey? Like, did you answer the question of like who she is? Oh, I did. I said that she's garbage and like she doesn't really mean anything. Like, we've already answered that. He's like, wait a minute. Like, it was just him trying to muddle through the mess that was made for him in 8. Like, he just didn't really have a chance. I'm not saying 9 is good. 9 is in no way good.
Well, I think you make an absolutely valid point. And I remember in 2015, before episode 7 came out, there was interviews with Rey. Or I'm sorry, Daisy Ridley, the actress who portrayed Rey. And she said in those interviews that J.J. Abrams has a plan for all 3 movies. There's a treatment, there's an overarching story, And remember back then it was going to be, I think Gareth Edwards was going to do the second movie, I think.
Yeah.
And then I think somebody else was going to do the third movie. I can't remember who the third director was going to be. But they brought back Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who did the script for Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He did the treatments, and there was a point to all this, and it ain't so you have 3 movies to tell this story, and Kathleen Kennedy and her infinite wisdom brought in Rian Johnson, who just torpedoed all that. So yeah, so to your point, which makes a lot of sense, what do you do? If you listen to some of the early interviews with Mark Hamill, do you know at the end of episode 7, when he's just standing on the cliff and he's just got his white robes on, you know what was originally supposed to be?
No.
So originally he was supposed to be sitting like sort of Indian style. I guess I don't know if I can say that without offending people. Cross-legged, floating in the air with rocks floating around himself. He was supposed to be in the Force, because remember, it was a big deal for him to lift a rock in the original trilogy. Remember? So so when Rey finds him, he's there levitating with rocks circling around him. And so the implication is, wow, he is so far advanced. He must have been on this island for some reason, right? Right. Some deeper meaning of the Force, something, you know. But the point is, like, he's progressed. He's become more than what he was. And then Ryan Johnson just there's a wardrobe change too. He's in white robes, and then immediately after that, he's in gray, black, dull. Remember that in episode 8?
Yeah.
That's when Ryan Johnson took over. So he got rid of the floating rocks, and then he immediately just throws Luke into this gray, shabby clothing, and he's just all down and all that. So there was an original story, original plan. Now we get to episode 9. J.J. Abrams wasn't going to direct it. Now he realizes he has to try to make sense of it all. To your point, exactly like what you said, you just killed the bad guy. Raise nobody. You know, you didn't develop Finn, you didn't develop Poe at all. Like you made a joke out of Finn, and you made Poe just stupid. What's he supposed to do at this point?
It's like, I have to finish this thing up, and there's nothing left for me to, like, I don't know. It was I think I don't give it such a bad grade because I think he did the best of what he had, kind of thing. Like, I still think episode 8 was the worst offender, but episode 9 was just him trying to clean up the mess that was left there for him. You know, I still don't like how much of a Mary Sue that Ray ends up being in the movie, and we know that Carrie Fisher had passed away, and so they had to try and put her in there, but also kind of like, I thought in, which one was it? Which is the one that they shoot the ship and she does the Mary Poppins? Was that 7?
That was episode 8. Everything.
Episode 8.
Think about everything you hate. Think about everything you hate in the sequel trilogy.
7.
It happened in episode 8.
All of it. Why didn't they just kill her there? Like, just like, bye.
It's so sad.
Like,
That's
that would
the
have made
one.
Sense.
That's the one actor. Unfortunately, that's the one actor that didn't really live. Unfortunately, she passed away right after she finished episode 8. It's very, very sad. But yeah, they killed off the 2 actors that are actually alive. It's just a waste, man. I think that you could have gone back in a perfect world, and let's say you don't want to follow the books and you want to throw all the EU out, which is sad because the books are just incredible. They have so much depth. They have so much stuff going on because, you know, you can write 1,000 books and you can have so much depth and character development and all that. But you could have just had the big 3. You could have had Luke, Han, and Leia in white robes sitting on a council out of the way somewhere, and your new team, your new kids can take center stage. But you could have honored them by just having them there. Maybe they don't do anything, right? They're just there, and they're just admired, and they're just the heroes of the rebellion, right? And they're exalted, and you go to them for wise counsel, and that's it. That's all you got to do, you know. And Admiral Akbar, like, why did he have to die during the Carrie Poppins scene? Like, he could have been another hero of the rebellion on a wise council, you know, kind of like the Jedi Council in the prequels, except that now this is a new council of heroes of the rebellion, and you go to them for advice. You don't have to kill them off. They don't even have to be the heroes, you know, but you could respect them in the way that won't piss off all the original fans.
Yeah. And Saint Spears made a good point here. Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver actually seem like decent people. Too bad they were put in such trash movies.
And they're great actors too. They're great actors.
And that's the thing that happened during this time too, unfortunately, with a lot of haters, is that they decided to turn on the actors instead of the people who were directing the actors. And that I don't agree with at all. That's not, you know, on people to do that. But
I agree 100%.
You know,
I think the actors are great.
You're mad at the wrong people. Like, they're just there to act. You know, the director tells them they don't write the screenplay. They don't nothing. They're just there to act. So it's not on them. But the funniest thing about this movie, to me, was the ending, which seemed epic because, you know, Rey is laying there and she's trying to fight off this lightning, and all of a sudden all these voices come back, and there's different, you know, they bring back Hayden Christensen and Owen McGregor and Liam Neeson and like all these people to say, like, we're with you, Rey. And then she kills the Emperor, but what makes it funny is like the Emperor's like, right before that, if you strike me down, then I've won. And then she strikes him down.
Yeah, and then she strikes him down.
I'm like,
It's
so you just won. Like, I don't know. It was very, very strange to me. Like, it made no sense.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think it's sad. It was
Like-
unfortunate. It wasn't fleshed out. I think JJ probably had a decent idea of where he wanted the story to go, and he was going to rely on the directors to sort of just finish it off on episode 8 and 9. Take his story points and then kind of flesh it out. But he didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah. What'd you think, Burger Time, babe? She's like, I don't remember this movie.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't remember anything about this movie.
I really don't.
I will tell you this: the biggest crime here for me is that I have a little bit of ADHD when it comes to like things I collect, and I had The Last Jedi, in with all my other DVDs, but I had taken it out because I think we went to someone's house, and like we went to watch it there, and I lost it, and I had to buy that movie again.
No.
I had to buy it twice. I had to buy it twice because I was like sitting there and I'm like, that's fine. I didn't like the movie, but then I'm like looking at my shelf and it's like 7, 9,
Why?
and I just kept looking, and it was like months.
No,
and finally I was just like,
no, they didn't happen. They didn't happen.
I had to buy it though. Like my mind is like, I have to. I have to buy it.
It didn't happen. It's okay. It didn't happen. Bad dream.
Yes. Bad dream. Yes.
Bad dream.
But our polls right now, I think that they're starting to really troll you. At lowest is B at 6%. Okay. And then C has 17%. A is at 22%.
Come on. What are you
D
doing?
At 56%. So it is a D. It is a D, but there's 22% of the audience.
I only take the D votes seriously. To your point, I think you made a good point. It's not as offensive as 8. At this point, take the best director ever, Steven Spielberg, let's say. What would he have possibly done with this mess? What do you do with it all? How do you flesh all that out and wrap it up? It's just horror. I saw it in theater to just sort of, complete the trilogy,
Well, this is where we land with the main movies. So on the A tier, the only 2 movies that made it on the A tier is Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Those are the top ones for the audience here. B is Return of the Jedi and Episode 3, which is Revenge of the Sith. Then we have The Phantom Menace and Star Wars Episode 7 as C. And then D, we have, Episode 8, which we all hate, The Last Jedi. And then we have Episode 9, which we also do not like. But then we also have the Clone Wars. That's how bad we hate the Clone Wars. It's on par. I don't think it's that bad, guys. I don't think it's that bad.
I would give it a C, but I understand. It's that's a tough one. It's a tough one to defend for sure.
Now, since we have met the goal, we do have 2 more movies to talk about, which we will bring up here, which is the Solo movie and Rogue One.
Wait a minute, don't you need 2 more super chats? What's going on?
Well, Ace Jacks gave me. He said, "Well, it takes $20." Yeah,
You're
I
right.
need 2 more super chats,
right.
guys. Super chats, like no
Super chat.
Yeah, come on, guys. We need 2 more. What? No, I'm
Help
kidding.
this man out. Come on.
Yeah. So, what would you like to start with? Would you like to start? Let's start with Solo because that one, it's I don't feel like, I don't know. I'm interested to see your take on Solo, and we'll put that in the ranking now too, and see kind of what your feelings were whenever this came out, leading up to it, things like that. So, did you see this in the theater, or did you watch this when it came out? How did you view this?
I was pretty, as you can imagine, pretty down on Star Wars at this point.
Apologies, it's Attack of the Clones, not the Clone Wars. Sorry, it's.
Oh my gosh.
I got it. Sorry,
it's a bad movie. We get it. Yeah, I watched this on Disney Plus, and it was just so, to me, it was the most unnecessary movie. Like, I don't we already see Han Solo, and he's kind of young. I mean, he's probably, I think, the actor himself. I mean, Harrison Ford was 30. I think he was 30, 29 or 30 when he did Star Wars. He's already pretty young anyway. I don't know that we need his backstory. I don't know that we need really anybody's backstory. Maybe Yoda would have been somebody that I think that would have made some sense because he's like 900. So that would have made some sense. You could have gone back hundreds of years, right? It was just a bland movie. It was just, I felt it was very unnecessary. I felt that the actor didn't look anything like Harrison Ford at all. I didn't like the fact that the Millennium Falcon looked somehow worse when it was newer. I thought, I was like, what? What do you? Oh, it was an escape pod on the front. You made it just look like blander, like more generic, which was weird. All the vehicles in this movie are just sort of like these speeders are using, just plain and just kind of bland. I love seeing Chewbacca though. I love seeing Chewbacca. I like him. But it was, for me, it was just a bland, unnecessary movie that didn't make any sense. And to your point, you made this point earlier in the show. At some point, she gets a video call from Darth Maul, and then at the end, just to make sure people know who he is, he stands up and he ignites his lightsaber. That's red, but it's a hologram call. Like, why? What are we doing? What's going on? I mean, I don't know. It's just, for me, it was a fine movie. Just sort of very middle of the road, unnecessary. You could have done so much more with so many other characters.
Burger Time, babe. Do you remember this movie?
Vaguely. What I remember from this movie was liking Donald Glover as Lando.
Yes, that was an
He was
amazing choice
perfect.
on their end to do Don Glover as Lando. I will say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
And that's
good.
all I have to say about it because that's all I remember.
Cool.
That's probably the highlight. Yeah, that's probably the highlight of the whole movie.
To me, I didn't see this in theaters because I think, was this after episode 8? And then I was kind of just like, I was kind of done with Star Wars at that point in time. I was like,
Yes, sir.
gosh, like I'm just like, I don't
yeah.
want to waste any more money going to the theaters. I'll wait for this to come out. On,
the first of the spin-offs, I guess, was Rogue One, and then it was Solo. But yeah, so after episode 8, I'm like, I'm not
wasting
gonna
money.
give anything a chance. Yeah.
This reminded me, which you'll appreciate this because you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, of a filler episode. Like, it doesn't really add anything, doesn't really take away anything. It's just kind of there. Like, you're just like, oh,
this is Goku learning how to drive. That's what this
is.
That's exactly.
It's
just
like
nothing. Yeah.
Like, doesn't really take away anything, doesn't add anything. It's kind of it's entertaining to a certain degree, but it's like, if I never saw this, like, it wouldn't really change my Star Wars. Me watching the Star Wars saga, like, it'd be like, oh, okay, like that's neat. It reminded me more of like, this should have been a Disney Plus show instead of being a movie. That's what kind of reminded me of. Like, this is kind of a mix, like a Disney Plus show, but made in a movie format. That's kind of where I land with it.
Good point.
I don't think it was bad necessarily, but it wasn't like, I feel like I need to watch it again, but it just didn't resonate with me very far. And whatever, the one bad guy that was in the skull mask, and like they're sitting there like, ah, and I'm like, that's a girl. Like, I knew immediately like it was going to be a chick. Yeah. And like, she takes off her mask and she's like 12 years old. I'm like, why is this 12-year-old like fighting? I don't know. It was just like they were really pushing stuff, which they were back then.
Agendas,
yeah. So I didn't really quite land with me, and I knew that the whole thing with Chewbacca is that he had a debt of servitude to Han Solo. Like, he saw Han Solo had somehow saved his life, so that's why he like stayed with Han Solo and protected his family. I don't know how much I liked how they did that. Like, they were like, oh, he's just like in a mud pit, and he helped him break the bar, and now Chewbacca's just like his lifelong guy. Like, I don't know if that's his life debt that he now owes to Han Solo, but that's kind of where it landed. And who's his partner in this? Who's the actor? Oh, that's like his mentor. Let me see. This guy.
Woody Harrelson?
Woody Harrison, that's what it was.
Yeah.
His character was kind of cool. I didn't mind him. He was all right. Like, it was an okay movie. Again, it was just like a filler episode of an anime where it's like, I could never watch this again.
I feel like you want to see a young Obi-Wan Kenobi because you just see Obi-Wan Kenobi as an old guy, right? You want to see a young Yoda. You want to see younger versions of older characters. But we saw Han Solo in the first movie was young,
Yeah.
He was young. He wasn't like he was some old guy who had this crazy past. He was a fairly young person who had like probably a sketchy past, but it wasn't like it was just. He wasn't some ancient dude that was going to be dramatically different than what he was when we first saw him. So I just thought that it was just an unnecessary movie.
I totally agree with that. So where is everyone ranking this one now? Okay. It's actually a pretty mixed bag on this one. So they're very close. Everyone's voting. At the last spot, we have a B at 15%.
Okay.
We have A at 23%. D. Okay, wait, it's changing right now. I think they're trolling you.
Come on, damn it. Come on now. Come on. What are we doing here?
Okay, I'm not in the poll before it changes anymore. Because it's
vote with your heart, kids. Come on.
Yes.